What is going on, YouTube? PPS back here. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of March. We're coming back with another college basketball play for today. We'll have some NBA stuff. I'm still talking with Monotone kind of about the timing and stuff. I know he had a couple things come up, so um, we'll be in touch. I have to work a little bit later, so want to make sure that we're able to still get everything in and make sure maybe it's just a little bit of a shorter show today than usual. But you guys know we're back. I'm coming at you again with another round of our YouTube free plays. Just got back from the gym today, so we're a little bit further behind. Yeah, I had to do something with the dog this morning. You guys know what it is. You guys know how it is. So let's just do another quick recap. Middle Tennessee State, another one that just absolutely crushes the line. We've had back-to-back, right? We've had Ohio and Middle Tennessee where we really haven't had to sweat much after that first half. Again, we've seen exactly what happened in my video last time was they're going to start out slow. A lot of teams against ACU do start slow. I think they had 4 points in the first 5 minutes. And then from there, it was just a shootout, right? It was perfect, exactly what we wanted it to happen. Abilene Christian kind of blew their load in a sense in the first quarter or first half, and ended up falling way behind in the second half. I think 23-5 run to start the second half. Definitely got the right side. Obviously, the over still would have hit. I did mention that as a spot that I would like to go to as well. But yeah, Middle Tennessee State comes through for us and makes us another 1.5 units. And again, team totals, again, they're kind of tricky sometimes, but when you isolate the spots that you really want to attack, I think that that's the spot to go to. And I'm going to be going to another team total today. Again, this one is a play that I looked at the over a little bit separately, but I'm going to go with a team total on a side that I just think is a little weird. It's a little bit off to me. I'm going to go to Wake Forest. So I have the Wake Forest team total over 71.5. I am going to actually share my screen here so you guys can see exactly where I'm at. You can still see it's 71.5 right now, minus 115. That is where I'm going. I'm seeing on a couple books it range from that 72, the 71.5 to 72.5 range. And so that's the one I locked it in on. That's on 7 Stacks. That's where I'm playing it. And I really like this, guys. Wake Forest has absolutely been one of these teams I've backed quite a few times, only a few times on the show, but they're fantastic. Pace is going to be there. Texas A&M, I'll give you their numbers first. 64th in the country in offensive efficiency, 39th in defense, and 212 in pace. But if we're going to go over to the Wake Forest side, we're going to see a huge pace-up spot here for them. They're 35th in the country in pace. That's 3.4 possessions gained, and also 35th in the country in offensive efficiency, 46th in defense. And I really like this matchup for them. We obviously have a Texas A&M side that I believe is probably snubbed from the tournament. And they're playing pretty good basketball, holding both teams under 65 points to start. But now you're coming in here playing against a Wake Forest team that has an NBA caliber talent, Mr. Williams, Eldonis Williams, who's been fantastic this year. I believe he led the conference in points and assists, which you don't really see. I don't think it's ever happened in ACC. And now we're playing them here. It's in, I believe this is the semifinals. So let me go into another round of our quick numbers here. For Wake Forest, they're 18th in the country actually in points per game at 79.5. 49% from two, 35% from three, 100th ranking in 3-point percentage, 11th in the country in 2-point percentage. Also top 100 in free throw shooting. And actually, this is a number that surprised me was how well they are offensive rebounding. They're 57th best in the country. Texas A&M's in the middle of the pack in that stat at 172. So looking at that, I think they have the advantage there. Obviously, I think a lot of that comes down to Laravia. Jake Laravia, he's a junior for him. He's fantastic. He's a great second fiddle here for Mr. Williams. I'm just going to call him that because I think it's Eldonis, but I'm just going to call him Williams here. I do like that matchup. They really don't have many bigs. If you look at their top 8 scorers for Texas A&M, all 7 out of the 8 are guards. Obviously, Coleman, 6'8" guy, is their only forward that's in their top 8 of scoring. I think that's going to be tough for them to match up here as Laravia is fantastic from behind the arc. 39%. I believe he's their top 3-point shooter of guys that actually play. Also having Williamson there, shoot 40%. Senior, very nice to have a guy like that behind Eldonis, being able to shoot the ball, having a 6'8" guy who can stroke the ball from three as well. I think those are going to be really tough matchups here. Also wanting to go into a little bit of, a lot of people do like Texas A&M's defense, and I understand it. I do, I really do. But I want to go into the games where Texas A&M has had a pace-up spot and kind of how the teams have done against them, right? We want to find spots that are relatively close in pace because there's a lot of SEC teams like your Tennessees, right? There's quite a few of them that are going to be slower paced. I mean, or just not as good offensively. Like I would relate it almost to like LSU a little bit. They're not great in pace, but they're very good defensively. I think they're like 102 in pace, but 6 defensively. Like I'm looking at teams that are going to run like Wake Forest here, top 100 paces in the country, and let's just go right to those. So we're looking Arkansas, 82-64 in that game. Saw quite a few possessions. They ended up playing to the Arkansas pace here. Bama, 87-71, playing to the Alabama pace here. The other Arkansas game was 76-73, obviously going a little bit more to their pace instead of how slow Texas A&M usually plays. We have Georgia, that played 81-79. Other Arkansas, 86-81. There's just a lot of games here where we start seeing this pace. They played the Badgers, right? They play the Badgers, and you play slow, right? It really depends on who they're playing and how they're going to play there. Abilene Christian was 81-80. Obviously, that's a little bit more to the ACU side. And I think that's what Wake Forest is going to get here. I think they're going to speed up Texas A&M. And I think Texas A&M's defense's numbers are kind of skewed here with how slow they play and like their points per game and all that stuff because they're not really great in efficiency-wise. Like I said, they're 128 in 2-point percentage allowed. They're 161 in 3-point percentage allowed, 110 in points allowed. Most of that is coming from the late season surge that they've had, and also that they're playing at a lot slower pace than most of the teams here. Like I said, they're outside the top 200 in pace, and Wake Forest is going to make a move, right? They're going to make him run. Let's just go into the last thing here is Wake Forest has scored 80, 74, 77, 101, 99 in their last 5. That is unbelievable. That's over 80 points per game. Even if we go back to their last 10, they've scored at least 72 in every single game but 2. Obviously, that would get us to this number. So 8 for 10 in their last 10 on getting to this number. Talent-wise, they're just as much there with Texas A&M as many of the other teams. A lot of the other teams that Texas A&M are playing in this. They played Oregon without their best player, and they played Alcorn State. And now you're going to play against Wake Forest. That is a huge step up in competition. I think that they get there. I'm not going to take a side. I see Wake Forest as a 2.5-point dog. I think that's a little bit crazy to me. I think it's probably just because they're high on them after they beat Oregon and Alcorn State pretty handily in both. But Wake Forest is a different animal, right? VCU is a fantastic defense. They are a little bit quicker than Texas A&M, but they're higher ranking defense, right? VCU is a top 10 defense in the country, number 7 in adjusted defense. And Texas A&M is not anywhere close to that. They're ranked, like I said, they're ranked 39th. So we just seen them put 80 up on that defense, sped those guys up. And I think they do the exact same thing here. I'm thinking 78, 74. I think Wake Forest has a very good chance of winning this game. I think that their talent-wise on the offensive end is much better, personally. I would take Eldonis Williams over any score on Texas A&M. I would also take Laravia right up against Henry Coleman, right? We have a 14.5 points for Jackson, 11.1 for Coleman, and 10.9 for Radford. When you're looking at these, we have 18.8 for Williams, 15 for Laravia, and 12 for Williamson. So top 3 versus top 3, I'm taking Wake Forest all day. And I really like Wake Forest to get this job done. I think they cover, but I'd rather feel much more secure with the team total over 71.5. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if you could, please drop a like. It goes a long way. We're going for our 3rd straight winner, and I'm looking forward to cashing in another one here. Now that we're finishing up the video, please hit this the video that's about to pop up on the bottom left. That is for tomorrow's game. That is a free play that I gave out a couple days ago. So make sure you lock that one in too. So thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow and or maybe for Pass the Prop here in a couple hours. But thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are the best. Let's get another winner. Let's get 3 in a row.